welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking this video. I upload a lot of yoga videos here on my channel every Sunday at 7 a.m. PST. And if you like to support free yoga classes here on YouTube, then make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and leave me a comment what you want to see from me next. I really love hearing from you guys. Today is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna be doing a lot of yoga drills in the beginning, and then I'll take you to a short and sweet flow at the end. It's not gonna be as pretty as, a yoga flow, but this is like the foundational type of strength that you need to actually be able to move or flow intuitively. These are the things that I find maybe not that exciting or as aesthetically pretty, but these are those moments that you really, really need to be able to flow beautifully, intuitively, effortlessly looking, but also it is not. There's that like foundational strength. So when you're ready, all you will need is yourself and your yoga mat or like a carpet like mine, and let's begin. All right, we're gonna start in a standing position. So this is our tree pose drill. You can have your feet apart or together, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna bring one knee up and then stick it to the inside of the leg. So opening it out, right? The knees facing out, this is your tree pose, and then back to knee up, and then the standing position. Doing that on the other side, lifting the knee up, tree pose, up and down, and then switching sides. So for your tree pose, it doesn't really matter if it's that low to the knee or high, right? Whatever you can reach without having to help with a hand. So you're gonna do this actively, right? Stick it up, but the goal is to get it as high as you can. Obviously, it's gonna be different for everyone depending on your mobility with your hips and how much you can open. So when you're ready, we're gonna start whatever leg you want in 3, 2, and 1. Knee up, tree pose, knee up and down. Switch sides, knee up, tree pose, knee up and down. That's 5. Up, tree pose, up and down. Up, tree pose, up and down. 4. Up, tree pose, up and down. Up, tree pose, up and down. That's 3. Up, tree pose, up and down. Up, tree pose, up and down. 2. Last one. Up, tree pose, up, down. Up, tree pose, up and down. Good. Shake it up. For our next one, we're gonna start in a goddess position or horse stance. So basically a wide squat. From here, you can have your toes out, whatever you prefer to make this stable. So you're gonna let go of that one foot, internally rotating the knee in, up, out, and back to goddess. And then switching sides. Whoop. So you're basically drawing a big circle, right? And you're gonna drop to a goddess stance, whoop, or horse stance, and all the way as much as you can bring it down. There's no right or wrong here. You're just really mobilizing the hip joints. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to do 5 each side, so 10. All right, starting in goddess pose. Your hands can be anywhere to support you, and whatever leg you want to start with for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goddess. Come back up. Shake it up. Big breath in. Exhale out. Good job. For the next drill, we're gonna do lunge. So inhale, lifting your one knee up. And then exhaling, dropping it to your high lunge. And then again, inhale to lift the arms up. And then exhale, come back to standing position. So it's gonna look like this. Other side, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 each side or 10 total. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 10. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 9. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 8 for 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good job. Shake it up. Big breath in. Exhale, side out. Big sigh. All right. For the next one, we're going to do chair and goddess pose. So in your chair pose, it doesn't matter if your feet are together or a little bit apart, whatever you're comfortable, okay? So you're just going to do chair, and then notice your posture. I just want you to do this. Chair is like straight diagonal, so you're not going to arch, okay? Straight diagonal, and then goddess, open, and mostly now you are in that like anterior tilt, right? So it's going to look, the pace is going to look like this. Okay, so if I were to face you, it's going to look like this. Right? It's just going to be switches. Okay, when you're ready, starting in chair pose, 4, 10. Goddess, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to stand up. Good job. Shake it up. And we're going to do down low. Right, for a little bit of a warm-up, we're going to do the wrist first. So have your hands facing forward. Shift forward and back. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Fingertips will now face outside and then shifting forward first. Hold it here. Shifting back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. To the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now rotating one direction for 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. And center, opposite direction, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. Back to center. Now we're going to flip the palms, facing up, fingertips towards you. Shift forward, 5. Close the fist, backwards, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it up. And for a little bit of a squat position, Malasana, we're gonna squeeze, okay? The forearms in between the legs, okay? We're gonna open and close for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it open for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your squat. Whew. Shake it up a little bit. And we're gonna do our next drill. Okay, rotating the wrist one more time. Okay, for our first one, we're just gonna do some boat to activate the core, okay? So half boat, bending the knee, and then full boat stretching, okay? So it's gonna look like this. Now, if you can't balance, right, we're just gonna do 10. You can have your hands at the back to support you, and then just do this, okay? When you're ready, half boat, and stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Woo! Baddha Konasana, feet together, butterfly pose. Inhale, flatten your back. Puff out your chest. Arch the back, and exhale to fold. Good. From here, keeping that folded position, we're just gonna be this way. Fluttering the wings, pumping it up and down. For 5 more, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. And then relax. All right, for our first reverse tabletop drill. So you can have your hands anywhere here. I find this is gonna be really different for everyone, right? Because it depends on how mobile your shoulders and your wrists are. So depending on your angle. So whatever is more comfortable for you. Also, if you have hypermobile elbows, it is different. It's not gonna be stacked shoulders and wrists, right? So this is gonna be different for everyone, and I wanna be able to really, for me, I can open my shoulders fully. So I'm just going to really squeeze the core, right? So as you lift up, you're not back bending, making sure you're keeping the core tight and drop. Okay, we're doing that for 10. When you're ready, feet can be wider than your hip distance. Whatever is comfortable, we're focusing on the core and squeezing the glutes up. Okay, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, release. I know it was a little bit off. And shake up your wrist. Whew, but you get the thing. It was just like a quick core activation. All right, from there, we're gonna cross one ankle on top of the other. Okay, we're gonna first twist, so drop that foot or the legs towards the direction of that upper foot. Good. It doesn't really need to go drop down, just to where your twist allows, right? So if it's over here, that is totally fine. Making sure that you're really feeling the twist. And other side, inhale, exhale. Good. Oh, so good. All right, okay. Now we're staying in this position. We're gonna lift up to reverse tabletop again, okay, for 10. So this time we're gonna just do 10, drop, 9, drop, okay? And squeeze at the top as much as you can. Obviously, it's gonna be not parallel because you're on this figure 4 shape. When you're ready, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit down, let go, and other side. Right ankle for me on top of the left, and we're going to twist first. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop to the other side. Good. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Whew. Stay for a little bit. Maybe rotating the head. That feels good for me. Oh. All right. Next, when you're ready, we're gonna do the same thing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And down. Good. Whew. Shake it up a little bit. Okay. We have one last for the reverse tabletop, but this time we're gonna add some L-sits, okay? So for me, I like this to be Just gonna move a little bit because I don't want to hit buddy. I like this to be this distance with my hands now facing forward, somewhere in between your knee and your hip. This is really different for everyone depending on your current mobility and strength to lift your hips up, right? And how or where you can round. So what we're gonna do is lift up, slide forward, reverse tabletop. So now my feet are together here. So I just like to change things up. You guys know it, right? And then you're gonna slide back, keeping the hips hovered, and then forward. So this is gonna be a little bit more intense now. If you cannot keep your hips hovered, you can always drop in between. So it's gonna look like this. From here, gonna lift up, drop, and lift, drop, and lift, drop, and lift. So there's like dropping of the hips in between. But if you can proceed and swing for 10, then we're gonna do that, okay? Think about your core, compression, rounding, and strong drill. Let's do this, starting in an L-sit position or Dandasana in yoga. When you're ready, we're gonna push first forward for 10, tabletop, L-sit, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, I know it's intense, 2, last one here, keep going, 1, and for me, I'm gonna hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Drop and release. Big breath in. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Lion's breath. I always love that for that kind of like vigorous type of workout. All right, let's start in a downward facing dog. Okay. Whew. Let's align a down dog. Big breath in. Breath out slowly to find your natural breath rhythm now, finding stillness, feeling every part of your body now. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel your fingertips all the way up to your elbows, shoulders, your waistline, your spine towards the hips, all the way down to the hamstrings, the knees, the heels, and the toes. Wiggle, wiggle your toes and fingers. See if you can sync them together. Wiggle, wiggle. Good. All right. Now we're going to bend one knee at a time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now feel like you're really driving the heels down. If you can't drive the heels down, obviously you always have the option to bend the knee, stick your belly to your thighs. Glue, don't lose that connection. And then we're gonna shift forward, high plank, and then pivot your feet. Heels will now turn to the right side, and then your hips facing the right, pushing back. Good. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift forward, center, high plank, and then pivot to the other side now. Inhale, exhale, push back. Inhale forward. Exhale, keep on doing that, pivoting and shifting back. Good. Other side. Now just find your own breath work here. I really want to feel my full body here and engaging every little muscle here. And as you pivot your feet, you're feeling the obliques, woo, right? And then push back. Good. Now finding your downward facing dog. Okay, when you're ready, I want your downward dog closer stance, and then, a little bit wider than the hips now. We're going to touch the outside of one ankle with the other hand, and then thread your face or your head underneath the armpits. Good. Back to center. Inhale. Doing that on the other side. Grabbing the outside of the ankle and thread the head. Exhale here. Beautiful. Where's my mic? Over there. Okay. Now feet are going to be together this time. Going to lift the right leg up, breathing in. Breathing out here. Good. Bending that knee. Dropping that left elbow, the opposite elbow now. Good. And then really getting that flexed foot. Feeling different stretch. Good. Stay. And then from here, extend that right leg up. Straighten the knee. You're going to tap the other elbow as you bend the knee simultaneously. Boom. Or the arms. And then extend up for 3. Tap. Extend for 2. Tap. And straighten for 1. All the way. Push up. 3-legged dog. And exhale to drop it down. Whoa. Hit the table there. Whoopsies. Thank you, buddy. I'm going to move a little bit forward so mama doesn't get hit. All right, when you're ready, left leg up this time. And exhale here. Stay for a few breaths. Maybe feeling the shifting of the hips. Good. Dropping the opposite elbow down. And then flex the foot. Open it up. Bend the knee. Open the hips. Feel that. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg. Point the toes. And then tap the arm or the elbow for 3. Straighten. It's okay to get the bend in that elbow too as you tap 2. And last one. 1. All the way up. Push the elbow, lifting up. 3-legged dog. Good. Inhale. Exhale, drop the foot down. Good. Now we're going to wave our spine. Rolling forward. Rolling it back. Roll forward. And then wave it back. Good. Feet together. Right leg lifts up. Breathe in. Exhale, step it outside of the right hand for your lizard lunge. Good. From here, let go of that right hand. Sweep it all the way up. Breathe in. Breathe out here. Say 3, 2, 1. Drop the hand. And then we're going to pivot to Dandasana. So facing the left side. Side lunge. You don't have to be perfectly aligned. Whatever is you're facing, that's okay. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, we're going to switch to the other side. You can support with a hand. Dandasana. Good. Side lunge. Inhale. And then exhale, pivoting yourself, facing now the other direction of your mat. Good. You're now in this pyramid shape. Good. From here, you're going to slide that foot outside of the left hand, bending the knee, getting your lizard lunge. Ooh. Good. Then inhale, left hand will sweep up. Exhale here. You can get a feel if you want to lift that hip up or kind of sag it down, right? So this is really going to be different depending on how you're currently feeling. Like, for example, for me, like when I just like drop it down, my bone pop, such a great stretch, and it's gonna be different for everyone, right? This is more of an engagement, active, right? So different style. Left hand drops down. Good. Step the leg back, finding your high plank. Good. Shifting your weight forward, we're gonna take our vinyasa. Shoulders gonna pass the wrist. Squeeze the glutes down. Hold for a little bit here. 3, 2, 1. And chaturanga for 3, 2, 1. Strong one. Upward dog. downward facing dog. Good job. All right, now that we're fully warmed up, we are gonna get to our jumping to crow, okay? See how, hang on, let me just like talk a little bit. See how that whole thing, what we did in the beginning, worked for you to get here, right? Totally different because you open up the hips in a different position, standing. All of those are actually going to help, and with the L-sit, activating of the core. Now we're gonna attempt to jump to crow. Okay, so this is really, I find, different for everyone. I know for me, I have the strength a long time ago already because I can hold crow even with my eyes closed, and I could talk properly with, I'm just like, I feel very strong in that crow pose position. But I'm so scared to jump forward and flop, especially because I already injured my wrist. I have that fear of like, whoosh, and then I'm gonna injure my wrist again. So it took me so long up to this point, I feel like, to get over that fear. And so it's gonna be different for everyone. If you have the same feeling, or if you don't know what's holding you back, then first you want to figure that out, right? Figure out, am I so fearful jumping forward because I'm going to flop or plop with my head down? Or is it because I don't have that much mobility? Or is it because I lack strength with my shoulders, right? So figure that one out first, and then make sure to focus and work on that first before you get into this, right? If you're driving right now, I don't want you to get injured. Let's not make my mistake, or anybody who gets injured, learn from that. I love learning from people who gets over these things because you do learn a lot from those people, right? All right. So for me, how I figure this out is I like to start in a very wide-legged child's pose, or a floating child's pose. Looks like this. Because I find so much stability when my hips are so open, and then my hands, I started with a very wide hands, not shoulders distance. It's basically now wider than my shoulders. And then from here, I'm going to jump. So my stance is a little bit closer where I can get into the belly and thigh connection to tap. See, that's why every time I say the belly and thigh takes you so far in your practice, I promise. It's really key in so many arm balances, asanas, shifting, sequences, transitions, and also pressing, right, in any inversion. I wish I can move little buddy, but I don't want to wake him up. So from here, so I'm like floating my child's pose, right? And then whoop. So you can do as slow as you can to really get your muscle memory. Remember that? That's how I always train my muscle memory, as slow as I can. Obviously, it's hard to do it if you lack strength, right? So you can start with one foot, okay? So this is gonna do, or one knee, tap and then bend. Good. Back, okay? We're gonna do this, switch sides, 5 each side, okay? And really focus on feeling like, okay, I'm feeling that weight for 5. Make sure that you bend your elbows as you tap. 5. Good. 4. 4. Now see my fingers, spider fingers, as you get to the top. 3, and you bend your elbows. You really want to, spider fingers. Bending the knuckles. 2. 2. Okay, last one here. 1. And 1. Good. Now, I like to play with my shoulder mobility this way. So extend push all the way back. Notice your eye of your elbow will now face up. So keeping your palms rooted down, lifting the eye of your elbow up, and then you're like turning or spiraling now inside and down. This is gonna be different for everyone, right? The range, you can drop the knees if that is too intense for you. And then you're just going to lift up and down. So finding that spiraling of the elbow. Good, because that's important. When you start to do this, right, or in a downward dog position, whatever is comfortable for you, right, and then you shift forward, you're kind of spiraling. See that movement? Spiraling now your elbows to get that strong. whoop. Right? So now we're just gonna play jumping forward and back. You might not be able to get there yet today, that's okay. Get back to this. That whole routine that we did is a good one. It's like the yoga drill makes you strong. And just also for balance, for perception, right? And mobility for the hips. So you're gonna push back, right? And then notice my torso is now down than my knees, right? That feeling of like lower than compression is also like a great momentum to from here to jump forward, right? So now it's really slow. To get that slow, it requires a lot of strength too, right? Because obviously, if you can't do Lolasana yet, this is gonna be really probably hard for you, right? If you can jump back, a lot more people, I think, can jump forward more than jumping back. It depends, right? For me, I got my jump back first before jumping forward because that's super terrifying for me. So you could also start from crow pose to jump back like this. And then from here, jump forward, right? And then jump back. Good. Jump forward and jump back. So you don't need to hold for longer, of course. You will feel that weight, okay? That weight shifting forward and back. We're gonna do it for 5 jumps. When you're ready, jump forward, jump back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Now, when you do that, film yourself. See where you're at. Like pause it, see where you're at, right? So now you'll figure it out. If you film yourself, you'll be like, oh, I need this, do that, right? So try to correct your own form. From here, forward, there. Now my elbows or shoulders are low and in that crow position, right? Isn't that so cool? So just practice that from here and jump forward again. So again, look at my hands, the rotation of my shoulders and my elbows. From here, whoop, see, like I'm spiraling it inward. So if I were to face you, let me see if I have more room here. From here, this is my position, right? And then I'm going to, see that spiraling of my arms? If I jump forward, my elbows are now facing forward. And that's like the strong one. So that's why foundational strength is chaturanga. Because if you can't hold chaturanga for longer, that's why we activated in lower chaturanga for just about 3 seconds, because it helps to kind of get your muscle memory there, or, activate it. So from here, there. And then now thinking about always heel up towards the bum, right? Because it actually helps to hold crow pose longer. So again, from here, and right? Jump back, jump forward. So you can start, if you have very, very good squat or malasana, you can start super close if that's too hard for you, because the higher the farther the distance, the harder it feels like, at least for me. And it might be different for everyone depending on where you guys are starting, right? So a little bit like this, right? And then just tap, right? Tap. So you can start there, as much as you can. And then eventually you will be able to walk back farther. And then, right? So see that connection? You could actually just work on belly and thigh compression or connection from here, there, So get that feeling of jumping, not losing the connection. It's easier for the crow, I promise. Right? You could even try to aim for the armpits if you're just practicing. So that way, you're compressing more, right? Versus aiming for the elbows, right? Because if you aim for the elbows, right? It's kind of like off. So if you're here, you're gonna aim for the armpits, and it's gonna be a little bit lower than your armpits. Right? Don't lose the belly and thighs gluing together, okay? Now, when we catch that, we're just going to do more jumping to crow, Oh, sorry, buds. Sorry, buddy. Inhale. And exhale. Whoo. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. And stay. Woohoo. And play with straightening the elbows. Crane and crow. If you have that strength. Good. And I want to jump back. I don't know, buddy. Whoo. And that was a very, very intense for the wrists. But I hope you enjoyed my drink. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoy that one. It's a little different than what we are always doing, right? But for me, to get to a pretty flow or that kind of like effortless flow, if you will, that are like strong with arm balances, right? You would think that maybe, it's natural for her, because I get that a lot. Because maybe I don't look like as exerting so much effort when I flow. But in reality, that's just foundational strength, right? Without that foundational strength and everything, mobility, then it will not result to that how it looks. It really requires a lot of base drills like this. I practice a lot of these things before I always do a pretty type of flow. I would really love to hear from you guys if you have any more specific things you want from me. I know you guys love a longer type of flow or class. I can do that beyond an hour. So if I just have my camera plugged in, I can actually film longer than 1 hour. But if not, my battery only lasts for like 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the heat or depending on how hot it is. If it's like right now, it is 108 degrees outside. So that's why I can't film outside, because my camera is going to die in like probably 20 minutes because of the heat. All right. If you're new here, thank you so much, guys, for clicking this video. Thank you for hanging out with me and practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed that one. And if you did, make sure that before you leave to give this video a thumbs up. It helps a lot to support, free yoga videos here on YouTube. And also, it helps to support my channel so that I could share more videos. So if you can share this to your families and friends, that would really mean a lot to me. And this is a great one to kind of like not overwhelm someone with like what yoga is all about, right? It's a good start to kind of start with like basic movements, drills here and there. So it's a great one to share out there. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye! Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Mama's finished now, bud. Mama's finished. Let me just open my little doggy. Oh, come here. Come, buddy. Come on. Come on, Mama's filming. Okay, place. Good boy. Okay, Mama's filming. I'm sorry.